man, I care about you. I love every human being, and I plead with them and publicly and every means possible to say, get right with God, because you have to face him on Judgment Day and you need a Savior. It's as simple as that.
He's had a debate on the Atheist Experience that I watched. They spelled it out for him. To see him use those same arguments that have been debunked time and time and time and time again, it's incredibly frustrating to me.
What you're getting wrong about atheists, what we don't like, is that you assert those things and then you expect us to counter your assertion. We don't agree with your assertion in the first place.
And I'm just struggling with determining whether or not he really doesn't get it, or if he does and he just chooses to continue perpetuating the same arguments because he knows his audience is going to buy it.
I suspect that Jacqueline's referring to my continual assertion that an atheist believes the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything. Atheists say that's just not true, that no atheist believes that I'm misrepresenting their position. They maintain that they don't have any beliefs. Here's one of many clips where I say that. Are you an atheist?
Yes.
So you believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything? It's crazy talk. Isn't that what you believe? Nothing created everything?
It's terrible because it's another type of religion, atheism.
You didn't answer the question. Do you seriously believe that nothing, which can't do anything because it's nothing, created everything? Flowers, birds, trees, sun, moon, stars, seasons, the marvels of your body, the baby, the kitten, the puppy, the pony, all these things happened because of an explosion caused by nothing, and it created everything. Order.
Tragedy. It's all tragedy.
I asked you if you believe that. I want to know if you really do believe that. Come on, Jose. Fess up.
I don't believe.
And he always does this. He says, oh, well, if you're an atheist, that means you believe everything came from nothing. But it has nothing to do with our origins.
Understanding how nothing turned into something may be the greatest mystery of our universe.
Here are some of the leading atheists who believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything. Professor Richard Dawkins, physicist Paul Davies, Professor P.Z. Myers, physicist Stephen Hawking, physicist Victor J. Steiner, and of course, Professor Lawrence Krauss.
And it means that our whole universe, everything we see, everything that matters to us today, could have arisen out of precisely nothing. It's possible, without any supernatural shenanigans, for matter and particles to be created from nothing.
Are you saying that there's energy in that nothing, in that space?
What's really remarkable is once you put gravity into the mix, you can have positive energy and negative energy.
Well, yes, the terminology saying atheists believe is where you get it wrong, because atheism is a lack of belief. It's the lack of a belief. Because atheism is simply about the lack of a belief in a deity. That's it, period. So if we're talking about atheism, it's strictly about the lack of a belief. That's it. Atheism is just about the lack of a belief in a God. To say atheists believe is where you hear the brakes screeching right there. Atheists lack belief in God. Right, end of story, right there.
Here's why saying that atheism is a lack of belief is so important. If they lack a belief, they think it gets them out of being accused of believing the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything.
I don't have that belief. Yeah, I don't have it. I lack that belief.
Belief is, I don't believe in anything.
But that doesn't work. It's like saying, I have no belief in any builders. That means they by default believe that nothing built every building. Either something created everything, or nothing created everything.
So Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe an atheist thinks or believes the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything. Is that what you believe?
Oh, I just heard you. Yes, there actually, if you read a book about nothing, there's a thing called nothingness, which is truly nothing, and there's a thing called nothing, which means that it's out. Let's take a 1 cubic meter space with no atoms in it at all. That would be called nothing. But there's also what's called a nothingness, when you don't even have space. I know that's a little far-fetched. Have you heard that theory before?
Probably from Disney.
No, that's
so this nothing has got something in it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, even nothingness might have something in it.
Then it's not nothing, Bruce.
That's correct. It's not nothing. It's something.
The simplest version of nothing, it might be empty space, just
the nothing of the Bible, an infinite, dark, empty void.
I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead.
Well, atheism is a belief, so I'm not an atheist.
But you can't call atheism a belief.
Well, atheism is a belief, so I'm not an atheist.
I have a little aside here. I want to talk about a pet peeve, just briefly. And, this is one of those things that annoys me no end. There's always somebody who pops up in the comments and he says, atheism is just the lack of belief in God.
It is not a belief, it is the lack of belief.
And I hate those guys. They're wrong. And I hate those guys. They're wrong.
There are people who will argue that atheism means lack of a belief in a God. I don't particularly like that one. I've used it in the past. I've stopped using it.
Here's the definition of an atheist from the Cambridge Dictionary. Someone who believes that God does not exist. And from dictionary.com, the doctrine or belief that there is no God. Despite the fact that I've interviewed professors from UCLA, USC, and other professors including P.Z. Myers and Lawrence Krauss, atheists continually accuse me of only speaking to dimwits who can't stand up to my bullying. What they don't understand is that it's the conscience that's being addressed, and that brings all of us onto a level playing field. Watch what happens when this atheist, who's clearly intelligent, changes the dynamic himself. Watch Crazy Bible 33 Minutes includes highlights of the Jekyll and Glenn interview on Living Water's YouTube channel, over 60 million views. Make sure you subscribe to get 2 new videos each day.